Welcome to our weekly video, Depth of Soulful Insights. Today we'll be discussing spirit guides. I will read the disclaimer before we start. The video that is presented includes the opinions of Soulful Insights business owners, Jessica and Athena. They do not represent the opinion of all or others. What info you take out of this video is entirely up to you. So today we are discussing spirit guides.
Different ones, what they can,
Well, what are spirit guides?
Yeah, what are spirit guides? So, for starters, you can have many different spirit guides. You can have deceased loved ones, deceased people in general, animal guides, all different sorts of beings, higher guides.
So each of your spirit guide is at a level, different level.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Yes.
they are. They're at a different. You can have people that have just recently transitioned, so they'll be at a particular level, and then you'll have others that have been doing guiding for a while, I suppose is a good way to put it, and they're much easier at getting their instructions across, and they may also come to you in different forms according to your belief system. That's another one that's important.
Yeah. The animal spirit guides, there are ones that just come through for the time that you need them. Same with any other spirit guide, really. Like, they will be there for a month, 6 months, 6 years, and then once you have learnt that lesson or learned what they needed you to learn.
Or especially with animal guides or particular entity guides, that take note of what they actually are. So if you have a fox, they're playful, they're a little bit sneaky, and so they're trying to teach you their lessons of their attributes of how they are. So you've got to pay a little bit of attention to that.
But then there are, like for myself, I have a wolf spirit guide, Prairie, and he is one of my protectors. So he is there all the time. But then there have been other different animals that have come in and, like Jess said, just to teach you a lesson to either chill out a bit more
or work a little harder or be a bit more playful. So mine was last month or the month before was a pig.
Yes.
And I thought that was a bit odd. But then you actually research the pig and the boar, and they're very straightforward, and they dig into things and they look into things and investigate things. And once I did that, I realised that was an aspect of my personality that I needed to work on and move forward with. And once I did that, I've been much better, and I've noticed the pig hasn't shown up as much. So, and that's the same thing with family as well. If they have a transition family member, if they have something to tell you or something to teach you that will help you move forward as a person or even move forward in the family dynamic, they will only stick around for as long as needed, unless requested. That's a different one.
And that sort of then differs of people's perspective of spirit guides. Like for me, a spirit guide is somebody that is with you throughout.
Yeah.
But other people might think, like, for instance, if Jess has a reading or I do a Reiki and someone comes through, it's not necessarily their spirit guide. It is somebody that may just have some information for you that they want you to hear, and the only way that they can do that is through this person.
Yes.
So,
and that's also a good thing to note when you're in a reading or you're in a Reiki or you're in some form of healing or you're hearing from somebody else, they're using them as a mouthpiece. So more of them will come through. So you need to have your reader or your
whoever and ask them, are they a spirit guide or are they just...
They're just there for the moment to give me that piece of information, or are they a regular one?
But then you also have to understand, for instance, Nana.
Yes.
Nana is my spirit guide, not Jess's.
Mine.
However, Jess can call upon Nana if she wants something.
Yes.
If Nana feels like talking to her.
Nana and I have a rather interesting conversation about my behaviour, but she does like Tina a lot better, and she likes the way Tina operates. So, but if I do need her, I can call upon her.
Yes. So that's what people need to understand, is just because your father, your grandfather, your sister, your brother, whoever you feel should be your spirit guide, just because they're not there daily looking after you, protecting you and guiding you, does not mean that you cannot call upon them for help.
and that's also with animal guides and other guides as well, is if you feel that you need a bird's eye view, for example, you can call upon the bird's animals or the eagle or anything like that to help you. You can call upon, so if you believe in dragons, you can call in a dragon. If you believe in angels, you can call in Archangel Michael. That's the point, is guides are willing to present themselves in any form. This is more entity guides than just transitioned loved ones or transitioned people.
And then that's the other thing, going back to you say people guides. So, for instance, if I have a Reiki and somebody pops through, I will generally get what they look like, what they're dressed in, blah blah blah. When I tell that person, that is generally the perception of that person as to what they remember them. So, for instance, for me, for Nana, when I first ever realised that Nana was one of my guides and I saw her, she presented herself to me from what I remember as a kid in the kitchen with her long day dress with a little apron and, just general everyday around the house.
Yeah,
Whereas
when she presents to me, I remember Nana as the very aristocratic woman, red gloves, red pill hat, red shoes, red handbag. And usually some sort of navy outfit, but that's beside the point. And she's showing me much more of a different approach, and because that's how I remember her as that style of person. I often saw her in formal settings as the powerhouse matriarch of the family. So Athena sees her in a much more relaxed light, and they have much more relaxed conversation.
But then at the same time too, I have seen her in that light when we have done other stuff and we've called upon them to come in, and she's been in that very, very well dressed, very well, presented. So it works on different, going back to what you believe in and that sort of stuff as well. So if, you're
so if you believe heavily in the Native American like Athena does, you'll probably most likely attract Native American guides, because they'll be like, well, she likes us, we'll go have a look at her. And whereas
but then you got to understand I was very Native American in many past lives, so that's why that comes through as well.
Also, there's many little bits, but as we only have a short amount of time to discuss it, there's many different roads we can head down on why that guide chose you, why they want to be around you, why they find your energy interesting, and why they believe they're a part of your journey. And so that's much more in depth, and if you honestly want that, it's much better to do it on a face-to-face, personal basis.
Yes.
Because trying to explain the in-depth intricacies may work for one person, like it does for Athena, like she's Native American, and why she's so fascinated with it is because she was quite a few different ones in that lifespan. Whereas, what's something that came through for me that's
the Russian.
But I was that in a past life.
Well,
I'm trying to get away from the past life stuff. So what's a little girl that runs around your yard?
That's right, yes.
Okay, so she's actually attached to the house. So that adds another element as well. She, I don't think she's ever left the block.
No, and I suppose I wouldn't call her a guide.
No,
she's just more of a spirit that
enjoys Athena's time and enjoys Athena's house and likes the fact that Athena can. So, and that's another level as well, is to learn how to differentiate by yourself, which either one of us can teach you.
Yes, exactly.
How to differentiate between whether they are a higher guide, or they're a normal guide, or they're transitioned.
Whether they're here just for a visit, whether they're just attached to a house, a thing, whatever.
A car. Cars are another good one. The James Dean car, for example, that's always a good... No, not Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen's car, every owner that's ever had it has had an accident in that car. So there's different levels of energy and frequency that form and move and shift. And so there's a lot to explain. And I'm trying to condense it. But
at the end of the day, your spirit guides for us are people that are there to guide you. And they're to give you information on how to move forward with certain things in your life and different aspects of your life. So that is what a guide is. So if you want to learn more about your guides, down the bottom of the video, after it is posted, you can ask questions. We're happy to answer them. You can privately inbox us, or you can make an appointment and come and see us, because Jess and I can sit down one-on-one with you and discuss all this sort of stuff to do with
every
it.
aspect.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be able to narrow it down for you. And that's the point. I like saying this point, that the reason why they're called guides is because they're there to guide you. Okay, and that's an interesting point also. Nana comes to me for different reasons that she comes to you. So each guide will be different. So just understand that if you want a more clearer perspective, leave a message and a comment down the bottom, or give support or something. So we'll figure it out. Yeah.
So thank you for listening to us today on Spirit Guides, and
Thank you very much.
see you next time.